feeling the things of Calvary. Too often we separate ourselves from the harsh reality of what our Savior went through to get through to me and you. And some of our blunders are the results of a surface experience of what it took to carry everything in order to marry you to your true identity. So allow me to feel the things of Calvary this Easter. It's Thursday night. Imagine your loved ones beside, aware that things are heading to a final tide, woefully unaware of all that would betide. He prays for his loved ones, separates himself for a final discussion with his Father. It's not a graceful bow to the knees, but the weight of pending realities buckles him to the ground. The visionary eyes that cross the distance of time have seen what comes with Friday's light. Clairvoyance that brings agony first in the mind. This is Gethsemane's trial. I am feeling the things of Calvary. And it was blood, sweat on his brow, and he considered how his body could make it, take it, bear it, and bear it. And if just a man, that was the hour to say, my hands are clean, for sinners I cannot bear this degree. Nay, the human spoke, if possible let this cup pass me by. The God element finalized, but not my will, but thy will be done. Allow me to feel the things of Calvary. He is betrayed and arrested, judged by his brethren, found guilty without crime, and so it begins. First, struck across the face for remaining silent, then taken by guards, a cloth over his eyes, as they mock, spit, and strike his face. Early Friday morning, they drag out my Savior once again. He is tired, thirsty, bruised and battered, and has not slept all night. Judgment passed by Pilate, and the people's cry, he is condemned to be crucified. First must come brutal scourging, dignity lost. God's Son is stripped of his clothes and his hands tied to a post. Roman hands bearing a lead-tipped whip, bringing down with brutal force again, and again, over my Savior's legs, back, and shoulders. Mercy at 40, if in Jewish hands, but there is no law in Roman torture, so only Christ knows the lashes he bore. Cutting through skin, skin onto tissue, tissue onto muscle, till close to death's door, then finally this chapter stops. Cut down, half dead, for a moment spared as laughter spews at the state of the King of Jews. They cast a robe over him, throw a fake scepter in his hand, and as though he had not bled enough, cruelty weaves a thorny crown, forcefully threshed on his head, righteous blood dripping down. My Lord, how are you still even alive? Feeling the things of Calvary. Wine is offered to numb the final phase. My Savior refuses. He must endure to the end. The cross is stood and he is cast against it. Shoulders are lay on the wood. His right arm is stretched out till the hand presses against the wood. The Roman takes a heavy iron nail, and hammer in hand drives it through deep into the wood. And no breath is given to take in the pain. The left hand quickly follows. Slam! The hand bonds flesh and wood. And as if he wasn't already now bound to the cross, they take his feet also together over top. One final nail crushing through flesh and bone, wood to meet beneath. These are the things of Calvary. My Jesus, now crucified, and it's not over. There are hours still to go, hours to feel nerves pierced by iron nails, hours to feel life fading from his heart. As David prophesied, strength dried up like potsherd, tongue cleaving to his jaws, brought into the dust of death. Lord, help me feel the things of Calvary. The body is now at critical level, tortured lungs gasping for breath, and in the midst of all of this, he is mindful of more than he. He casts his eyes to the mocking Romans and extends forgiveness for the ignorant. To the thief beside, the gift of entrance into paradise. And he does not forget John the beloved and the woman who bore him. The human flesh faileth, and the horrors that have been done upon him. The stricken sun sends a call that numbs even heaven's courts. My God, why hast thou forsaken me? Nigh empty of needful fluids, the work is done, and he expresses thirst, and only vinegar is brought nigh. A tortured whisper, it is finished. To the same God, the human forsaken by, he utters his final cry. Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit, and gives up the ghost. The work is done, the mission accomplished.
And I know Sunday's coming, and thank God that it is coming, the hour of our jubilation, for he is not dead, but lives indeed. But this is the sound of Calvary. Thunder and lightning, the earth groaning as its creator is slain on a tree of wood. Let these feelings remind you, he died in this sinner's stead, so that when gloom and sadness comes to whisper, you've sinned, no use to pray, you can look away to Jesus, feeling the things of Calvary. And know, even as Satan knows, that the price was paid, perfectly laid, all victory was won. Earth's darkest day, paradox, earth's brightest day. Without Friday, there is no Sunday. Forever grateful, forever connected, forever a part of Calvary.